following programme contains subject matter dealing with the paranormal which some may find to be controversial. The views expressed by the host and/or the guests do not necessarily reflect those of the network or its sponsors. Audience discretion is advised. Here's your host, Coyote Knight.
Welcome everyone to Transcendental Night Offerings. I have here Tracy and Justin from 4S Paranormal, and they're all the way from the UK. So they're up really late right now. It's 1 o'clock in the morning where they're at. Thank y'all.
Yeah, that's all right, no problem.
So tell me a little bit about yourselves.
Well, we're a family team based in sort of Bath and Bristol. It consists of Tracy, who's the founder, myself, Justin, and my wife, Cheryl. We have other people that come with us from time to time. But yeah, we just sort of, Tracy originally started doing it, didn't you?
Yeah, I've done it with like your little sister.
Yeah.
Used to drag her out. And then it gradually went through the family, and then Justin said, I'll Cheryl come out with you, and then it was come out with you as well. So we take it in turns now.
Yeah, so my wife will sort of go out, because she works in the week, she'll go out sort of on weekends, and then I'll go out sort of weekdays and try and do as many sort of investigations as we can. We've been doing a lot more recently. We do the dolls. We've got the dolls here as well that Tracy does here.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I see that. A lot of people get freaked out over dolls.
Yeah. Quite a few up there now.
So I got to ask you, what do you think sets you apart from other paranormal teams out there?
I don't know. We just sort of we go places and we just try and
get as much evidence as we possibly can, same as like anybody else.
Yeah, we just go there. We're not faking anything. We're just being true.
I get scared quite a lot.
Getting the evidence we can. So we using Spirit Box, REM Pod, K2s, all the equipment we use. We've got SLS camera. Obviously, all the evidence we can collect together is obviously better. But yeah, I think we just sort of, because obviously we're a family, we sort of obviously bond together and we get on together as well. So I think that's probably quite a unique thing as well, sort of the family unit as well.
So, I know that there's a lot of teams out there that seem to, cause a lot of drama that's kind of undue. And is that like a real problem over there in the UK or?
I mean, I do, because I do watch other teams as well. And there is a bit of drama going about, but I mean,
the main ones.
Yeah, but I just, we're all essentially doing the same thing. We're all trying to investigate and trying to come up with any evidence we can, and obviously we should all try and stick together, really, rather than battling against each other and trying to get one up against each other, really. I don't know why they do it.
I don't get it either, because there's a push with a lot of us that want to try to bring everybody together, because this is supposed to be a family. At least that's the way we look at it. It should be a family. We should be helping each other out, and because we got the same goals in mind, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So what's been the latest investigation that you've been on?
Well, the latest one I've been on, obviously, is with Drew.
Mm-hmm.
That was in Bristol, at some bunkers and some sort of artillery sort of bunkers. We did a little bit of an investigation there. I think that was last night. Yeah, last night it was. Yeah, it was quite good. When was the last investigation we did? That was at the abandoned house, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was quite good. We've got a good location. We've been there twice. And
But we nearly got caught.
well, yeah.
Like you do.
There's a nice big house. We did a little bit of investigation there first of all, the second time. And then we thought we'd move on to a different area. But the second sort of area we were in, it sort of overlooked some streets, and there was already a security guard from another place.
It was sort of dead opposite, really.
He sort of knew, he probably sort of was watching us when we sort of originally turned up, and he could obviously see the torches that obviously flashing around through the window.
And then suddenly they went off.
He just clocked me, and I turned the torch off, said to the guys that he's seen us, we better go, really. I mean, to be honest, it was getting late as well. It was about 12:30 here in the UK. So yeah, we literally went, and as we were getting in the car, this van turned up, literally turned around.
Very slowly, wasn't it? Hovering.
Slowly went past us, and then as we pulled away, it basically followed us. So obviously they were checking up on us.
Yeah, that was who he must have called.
Yeah, he must have called someone, and they basically came out to check on us. That's the first time they've ever had that happen.
Really?
So,
First and last time.
Well, I mean, I suppose if there's abandoned places, they've obviously got to be owned by somebody. Obviously, we take care. We don't go in there wrecking anything.
No,
we respect everything. This location, it was easy to access, so we're not damaging anything or breaking anything.
And there was no signs on that.
It's literally like a little bit of a fence you slip through, and you're in, really. So yeah, that's a good place.
Do you remember your first investigation?
Well, you go.
Mine was at a place called Victoria Park, and I went with my daughter and her boyfriend, and that was the very first one I've ever done. And we did get quite a few things, and then that's what spurred me on to do it even more.
Oh wow! Okay, you got to tell me more.
Well, I invested in a PSB 7, and I was talking to another ghost hunter, and I was sort of trying to find out what's the best one, spirit box. And then I got an EVP player, and we just went out investigating, and then we asked a specific question: can you make a whistle? And then suddenly we went to leave because nothing happened, and there was a whistle come through on the spirit box, and I was like, right, we got to go back in there. And then we were sort of investigating. I got like on a high, and then I thought I got to try and get into this now, because I've always been interested in it. And when I lived at this annex, the mother of the person who owned it ended up floating through my place.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Did you get that on camera?
No, And she never did it again, and I was really gutted. But yes, because she just floated through, and I thought, this is a bit weird. I wasn't sort of scared. I was just more took aback that I actually saw a ghost.
All right. Well, have you caught anything on camera?
I don't know. Have we really caught anything on camera?
I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think we have. Yeah, I mean, we've got good evidence from the spirit box, like specific questions.
Yeah.
We asked the spirit box. Like we did one when obviously we were still in lockdown a little bit. Tracy and I went into Bath in the city, and normally it doesn't really matter what time of day or night it is. It's normally busy, but it was literally no one there. And we went to a place where there's this big tree, and it's called the Hanging Tree, and supposedly people were hanged there years ago in the war. And opposite there's a pub called the Crystal Palace, and I asked the spirits, what drinks can I get in there? And then suddenly over this, normally it doesn't say anything to do with drinks, and suddenly over the spirit box it said whiskey, beer, cola, crisps. So so the relevance was there, we don't normally. I don't think we have. The only other thing we sort of got this good is this was with when we went to the abandoned house the first time. It's called the Abandoned House of Doom on our. I don't know how we got to that name, but we put the REM pod in another room, and we were all in another room. It just kept going off, didn't it?
Oh, and another time when we were in there, Drew said, when I had my SLS camera out, and Drew said, standing by that door, he said, there's a man. So I just went like that. There it was.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Do you remember that? When we visited the first time, Drew said, there's somebody stood by the door.
Yeah.
And I spun round quickly, and it was there.
Yeah, I can't remember, to be honest.
Yeah, you caught it on camera. You actually filmed it.
Yeah, maybe.
It's right, he's got a bad memory.
I have got a bad memory. I can't remember. I was actually trying to think of the first one that I did, and I can't remember the first one I did with Tracy.
Oh, wow.
We've done quite a few.
Yeah, because we're sort of looking at lots of locations now to go and investigate, and there's obviously a few previous ones we've already done that we'd like to go back to as well. That we sort of thought, well, we could go back and investigate again and sort of get more evidence, more relevance for information and stuff.
When me and his wife went out, we went to this wood. As soon as I set up my camera, it started playing like a musical box.
Yeah.
And it had, in the middle, it said, find a face. And I was like, what's going on? And then Cheryl kept saying, have you got that on your phone? Is that tune on your phone? I said, do I look like I go around with like musical box theme tunes? But that was like really weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just something weird playing at the beginning of the live.
Yeah.
You sort of...
To kind of get people up to speed here, when we're talking about Drew, we have a common friend. His name is Drew Nicholas. He is a clairvoyant, so I just wanted to clear that up. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but that was a strange one because that's never happened before.
Yeah, we sort of do get some strange things happen that we sort of can't explain.
Yeah.
So.
But we're always trying to debunk stuff.
Well, yeah, because obviously, I mean, initially I was probably very sceptical. And obviously the more and more I see, the more I'm sort of, I do believe now. So, I think initially I was very sceptical, but the sort of things I've seen now, I think, they just can't be explained.
Yeah.
So we just.
Well, I've said this once and I'll say it 100 times. I love skeptics because it makes us work that much harder and makes the evidence that more relevant,
Yeah.
We did have a question come in, and somebody wants to know, what is the scariest place that you've ever investigated?
I think for me, we went. It's again, it's in Bath. It was a battlefield up in Lansdowne near us, and I was just sort of getting overwhelmed because in front of me was a wall that I couldn't see over, and there was another field. Behind me was a big deep valley, and then there was nothing to the left or right of me. And I was just looking everywhere, and I was just thinking I could hear things around me, see things. I think that's the scariest one. It was just Tracy myself. So I think that was the sort of scariest one I've done. What about you, Tracy?
I don't know, that place that I went with Cheryl on that Saturday, because I did feel surrounded.
Oh, what the old ironworks, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And as soon as I got out that car, I said to Cheryl, "We're being watched." I said, "I can tell you that now." And then we walked on the lawn a bit, and I said, "Oh my God, look at those woods." And they did look really eerie. And this is when it was daytime. So then we carried on, but things were sort of happening. The bear flipped over.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, we got some.
Me and Cheryl was looking the other way, and I told them to touch the bear. And we were looking the other way, and next minute it was over.
Yeah, it tips over, and then Tracy says, "Who did that?" And over the spirit box it says, "I did it."
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. I've got to try and do an edit of that video, to just try and edit that bit, do a little clip of that. So, you know, it's about, in the video, it's about 14 and a half minutes in.
Oh, and then there is still at the same place. We kept hearing stuff, like we could hear people talking. So we turned off the spirit box, and then people were starting to hear stuff. And then they kept saying, "Your mic's tapping." And we're like, "No, there's nothing tapping it. We're not moving it, we're not tapping it." But it was doing that, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then suddenly her battery on her phone was going funny. And then she said, "I've got a charger, it's okay, I've got like a battery pack." So she went and plugged that in, and then she went, "Ha ha, this is fully charged, you can't have it." And it said, "Crap."
Oh, no.
Over the spirit box, that's what it said. And I thought, oh my God, I couldn't believe it.
You know, one thing that I've noticed is with the spirit box, because I know there's people that are like, "Oh yeah, it works," and some people say it doesn't. But you know, like over here we have the FCC, which is, you know, the Federal Communications, and they are very strict on what you can and can't say over the air. So it's not like you can just get on the radio station and start cussing, you know.
Yeah.
So when you start hearing cuss words over the radio, then you know something's coming through.
These ones love swearing.
Well,
Really?
They swear a lot.
When we're out, there's certain words that we get over the spirit box, and right here there's certain words we get over the spirit box as well. I won't say them because we're not allowed to.
Right.
But yeah, there's some bad words that they say.
Okay, I want to talk more about the dolls, but I got to ask one more question before we go to that. Have y'all ever been hurt on an investigation?
Well,
My arm got affected.
oh yeah, that's
didn't
right.
it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Where was it?
That was at that's recently actually. That was at Radstock Mines, wasn't it, or Midsummer Norton Mines?
Yeah.
Like it's a walkway where I think a railroad used to be and some mines used to be, and we were walking along. And Tracy's was it your left arm?
Yeah, it was here.
Left arm.
It was just there.
Yeah.
And oh my God, the pain.
Yeah.
And it was getting worse and worse. And I thought, somebody just chop it off. And then when we went further down, it was the camera, wasn't it?
Yeah.
My arm stopped hurting.
I basically had the camera, and obviously it was Tracy, and then we had another chap with us called Steve. And every time I focused the camera on Tracy, it just started going dark all around her. The light was just going. And then I moved it to Steve, and it would come back again. And I got them to switch places, and Steve was there, and it was fine on him. I moved it to Tracy, and it just started going dark again. It was really strange.
So do you have any idea what you think it was?
I'm not sure really, because we didn't really get, apart from your pain in the arm and that going off, we didn't really get much coming over the spirit box, I don't think.
No. But it was like everyone was shocked because me and Stephen turned round at the same time, didn't we?
Yeah.
Because I was expecting somebody to walk past us, and that's what he could hear as well. As though that's why we both sort of turned round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Tracy did take. She's got a infrared camera, and she did take a couple of pictures. And in some of the pictures, there looks like that there was a little. Was it a little boy?
Yeah, it looked like a boy.
Yeah, a boy, and I think a man stood next to him.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah.
And we caught some orbs, didn't we?
Yeah.
Around Stephen.
Okay. All right. So now you have to tell me about the dolls, like how you acquired them and all the stories and stuff.
Well, I don't know. I just like weird things. So I spotted a doll that I did like. So I pleaded with my daughter to buy it for me. That was my very first one.
Okay. Do you have any history on it?
No, I just get her to buy me that. I just buy them and then see what we can work with. But this one here is Ampusa, and she's a child killer.
Oh,
She got possessed because she was into like dark arts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She got possessed and she ended up killing her children. But by all accounts, she hates men, and she can make you have like give men burning sensations round the neck. So he's going to be sleeping around here one night and going to see what happens.
Yeah, we might try and set up a camera on the dolls, and then set one up over here, maybe seeing me, and just see what happens during the night.
Oh, no, that'd be cool.
The twins at the back, everyone just say they to move, don't they?
Yeah.
Everyone says these to move.
Yeah.
This one's what Emma.
You can see the twins, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
These two move.
Oh, wow. That would be so cool if they do that right now.
That one, people said that it's a male, but he doesn't know whether he's a male or a female.
Okay.
This one does move. This one actually does move. Oh, I forget the history on this one.
Yeah, I mean, some of them have got a history.
Yeah, I have got history. I have put them up on our like pages. You know what they've been said about them. This one's meant to be a white witch. She's a healer. But yeah, look, we found out that this one's French, didn't we?
I don't know. The only one I really know about is we got this one. We did a private house investigation where they said they thought the eyes were following them around the house.
Mm-hmm.
So they said that we could take it with us, so that sort of got added to the collection.
But one live, the ears were going blue. Everyone kept saying, God, the dog's ears are blue.
Underneath, you could see just blue lights underneath.
And I was going, what can you see that I can't see? I couldn't see it. And then suddenly I saw it. And it was like glowing. The whole of the ear is just literally glowing.
Now I wonder what that's from. That's crazy.
Yeah. And I did a mirror experiment. I just sort of put the mirror up and sort of tilted it to an angle. And they caught faces over here with the dolls. And it does look like faces. And the reflection at the back of the wall, they could see people.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I got to ask, when it comes to the dolls, the ones that move, is there like a certain time that they move, or something's happening when they move, or just whenever they want to?
Well, I don't know. Whenever because obviously I'm never here when Tracy does the live with the dolls. I'm obviously at my house, but I always think I can see the strings on this puppet move.
Oh.
It just always seems to be moving.
Oh, and the bell that I attached to that bell, I put.
There's that.
So it's easier for them to see.
And lots of people always see this move as well.
And it does literally rock.
No kidding.
Yes, you can actually. They always say, "I keep looking at the bell. I keep looking at that bell, and it's definitely moving."
Because you sort of like, I do it as well. I'm sort of transfixed on it. You're looking at it thinking, is that moving or is it just me? And it flickers. But I think sometimes we've seen like some sort of anomaly here, but we don't know what it is. So on the wall as well.
And they've seen like flashes. People just say they keep seeing flashes going through.
That doesn't bother you having that there?
No.
No? You just like that kind of stuff, huh?
Yeah. No, it don't bother me. It's occasionally we're like a few bangs or whatever, and my husband would be like this, and I'd go, "What are you looking at?" And he said, "Oh, I thought I saw a shadow." And I'm thinking, that's one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, more than likely.
And I did ask on one of the lives. I don't know if he went to bed.
Probably.
And I said, "Oh, how many's down with Peter?" That's my husband's name.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it said 6. And I thought, oh, well, he's all right then. He's got company.
So do you set like the REM pod up and your digital recorder and all that over it?
Yeah, most of them do ask for the SLS camera.
Yeah, I love the SLS myself.
I make my own.
Oh, do you?
Mm.
Okay, so what actually did happen when you set the SLS on it?
Well, sometimes I do ask. I say, "Can you show yourself?" And they do automatically go, "No," don't they? When I ask them to do stuff, it's no.
We do get that a lot when we ask.
They get very stroppy.
Yeah, over the spirit box, we say, "Oh, can you do this?" And then they go, "No," of the spirit box. I think they do eventually. I think we persist, and they do.
But with that robot, we got this robot. I call it Robbie the robot, and I set it up on the table here.
Mm-hmm.
And
I was obviously I wasn't
here,
and I was
horrible.
trying to will it to run off the table, but every time it tried to run off the table, the table's here next to Tracy.
Yeah, the table's here.
It was getting to about, it would turn and get to about here, but she wouldn't let it run off the table. Every time it came, she grabbed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she was worried about it breaking, but it was literally trying to get off the table.
But normally when you go near the robot, it'd go to turn, but it wasn't doing that. It was literally turning very, very slowly by itself.
Because it's got like a sensor on it, so you're supposed to.
It goes.
If you put anything in front of it, it's got a sensor. So if you put your hand in front of it, it moves back, or if you put it behind, it moves forward. So it's supposed to be like a censored robot.
But it wasn't doing that at all, was it?
No.
And then suddenly it shot to the back, didn't it? By itself.
Wow. Okay, I've got to make a trip out to the UK. I got to see this stuff. All right, so what all equipment do y'all use?
Well, we've stuck because he doesn't like. Well, they don't like the PSB7 because of the.
Yeah, I'm not used to. I'm not used to like the static.
But I think that does give out crystal clear.
Yeah, I don't know. I prefer the Necrophonic app. I think we get really good stuff with that.
Oh yeah, that is an amazing app.
Yeah, and I've noticed other teams have started using that recently.
Yeah, I know people use it. I haven't used it myself.
Yeah. It is
Oh,
good.
it is
good.
really
Yeah,
cool.
It is good. But
Really?
yeah, maybe. Yeah, it is good. Yeah, yeah. You'll get to notice. I think every time I go out, you get to notice a different voice, and you get to hear different words, and then you can generally disregard a lot of things because you hear them over and over again, so you can disregard certain things.
Yeah, like that little cry out.
Yeah, there's a weird thing it says, but a lot of it you'll hear like certain words. You think, oh, I haven't heard that before.
Well, we going back to that house we went to the second time with Stephen.
Yeah.
It actually said Stephen Woodford.
Okay.
His whole name.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And I think
crystal clear. I was gobsmacked.
Yeah. And when we went the first time with Julie Nichols, we'd never had it say Drew on it before.
No.
And when he came with us that first time, it just kept saying Drew, Drew, Drew. So it does have relevance and significance.
Oh wow! So how much does that cost? Because I know it's an app, right?
Yeah, do.
I think it's about £10, isn't it?
Yeah, about $10.99, something like that. It is worth the money.
Okay, so
really worth.
Do you know about how much that would be in American dollars, or you have no idea?
It's probably about $15, $16.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look it up because I know Drew said that he uses it, and I'm kind of curious about it. I'm a little leery when it comes to like apps and stuff on phones, but everybody seems to be talking good about it, so I'd like to try it.
Yeah, no, it is amazing. The responses we've got, and it's been like near enough straight away as soon as we've asked it.
Like on when we went to Midsummer Norton, the railway lines, I was asking it what we used to be here, and it kept saying train, choo choo. I was walking along and there was a spider. I didn't say the word. I said, "What's this?" and it said spider. So, it does give you relevance.
Yeah.
But there is certain words and noises you can disregard because you hear them over and over again. But like I said, you do hear a lot of new voices and words all the time.
Yeah, because we have an Ovulus. I don't know if y'all have one of those or not, but
no, I've heard of them and I've seen them. Yeah.
Sometimes I think that it works, and then there's other times I think it's just repeating the same stuff. And I kind of use it, but it's kind of been pushed to the side because I don't know if it's any good or not. It's hard to trust these things.
Yeah, like you were saying about the spirit boxes, I think when it's throwing out lots of names and everything, it's like if you say, "Oh, what's your name?" and it says some names, it's hard to say if that's relevant or not because it just might be saying that. Whereas if you ask it more very specific questions, it might not give you any history about the place, but it might give you, the answer you're actually looking for. So then you can kind of say that it does actually work.
Yeah.
Rather than,
Well, I see people use them on television, and it seems like these words will spout out from the Ovulus, and they just kind of, I don't know, it seems like they're reaching almost to make it sound like what they're doing. Oh, this has to do with this or this has to do with that, and I'm kind of like I just don't know. Instincts seem to be the best thing for me, but how are you going to show people your instincts? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. When you're out and you're hearing things and you're seeing things, sometimes people don't see it or hear it like you do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like if you say, "Oh, I've just been touched."
Yeah.
Well, anyone can say that.
And
exactly.
You can't prove it. You can just say, "Look, I think I was touched." Like I was touched the other day on my head. I said I was touched,
and Stephen has said, "Can you please go and touch Justin?" And then he goes, "Oh, something's just touched me." But see, it's like proving it, sort of thing,
Yeah, because that stuff could be easily faked. That it's true, but other people are going to be like, "Oh, they're just saying that,"
Yeah, exactly. I could say, "Oh, I've just been touched," and it's proving it, isn't it?
Because we had an investigation where my wife had said, you know, hey, you see that guy sitting up there? Go touch or tickle his feet. And I'm upstairs. I don't know that they're even saying this. And the guy that I was up there with, I'm like, dude, my feet feel like they're on fire. I don't know what it is, but they feel like they're on fire. So I come downstairs and the girls down there are like, hey, what happened while you're up there? I said, really not much, but I said, I got this weird burning feeling in my feet. And they're all laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? And they're like, oh, we told the spirit to go up there and tickle your feet. Well, I can tell you that, but how's anybody really going to know?
Yeah.
You know,
it sounds more like they had a flamethrower going at them.
Right. So over in the UK, what would be the most popular piece of equipment?
I don't know, because I mean, like I said, I do watch other people, and you know, we all use. I think most people use like K2s, you know, your EMF meters, REM pods, flashy balls. Lots of people like using flashy balls.
Cat balls.
We've had those go off in a few places.
But see, my favourite is the K2s, and put two together and get them to touch it and put it in sync. Because we did that. I did that when we went to
the private house.
The private house.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And because they were touching them sort of together, but it was sort of like it went up 3 on one and one on the other.
But it went up to red, didn't it?
Yeah, and then I said, can you touch them together? And then they sort of was trying, and then I said, can you just touch them together? And then it was doing it, and I said, can you keep it in sync, make it go together, keep touching together? And they were doing it, weren't they?
Yeah, and we had the REM bear going off as well. So we had the REM bear going off.
We did get good evidence from there on the SLS camera.
Yeah, that was good. But they want us to go back actually at some point. So when sort of all the rules and regulations sort of a bit calm down, we'll probably go back again, another investigation there, I think.
But you had the SLS camera, and he said he'd been touched, and you said where to, because he had it all up.
Yeah, and on the SLS camera, it shows the stick figure basically poking him in the centre of the back. And I said to the chap there, I said, oh, where do you think he's poking you? He said, right there. And he actually pointed to where the stick man was touching him.
Oh, all right. Now, the other question for you.
Yeah.
Now that I know there's a lot of places around there that are haunted because there's a lot of history and everything. And, you know, you hear all kinds of stories. Now, have you gone to a place where people swear up and down it's haunted and you were able to actually explain it away and debunk it?
I don't think we have yet, have we, really?
No.
Not yet. I mean, you know, we've been to some places, but I think, like I said earlier, I think we need to revisit them and get more evidence. Like when we went to the Battlefield at Lansdowne, we went there once. I think we need to go again and get, because there is names.
Because you were hearing stuff and I couldn't hear a damn thing. Because
obviously, there is sort of names that we know of, but obviously we didn't get anything come through. So obviously, if we went back again and got that, we can sort of tie that in. So it's all about any evidence we get that ties in with history we can use. There's another place we went to is Breamdown Fort, which is on the seaside, and it was a fort. It goes back quite a while ago, and there is some history I know of where I think a guy accidentally blew himself up with a hand grenade.
Oh no!
Yeah. So if we went there and we got that come over, like the spirit box or anything, you know, that would be, you know, such relevance, because, you know, we've got that history there to tie in with what comes over on the spirit box or whatever. So.
Okay. Now,
but
where
this time we go to the right place.
Yeah.
We ended up in the bunker, not the bit we wanted to go in, but it was blowy.
Yeah, there's certain parts of it, and because it was obviously when you're trying to find somewhere in the dark and it's all windy, I literally sort of looked up and I thought, oh, there it is, and we went up there, not realising there was loads more below us. But yeah, that was quite a good investigation, I thought.
Right.
You know?
For y'all, what would be like the holy grail, the best place that you can go and investigate?
Oh, Sally,
What, Sally in the Woods?
where we had
Yeah.
so much activity. It was.
I think that was my first investigation with you. I think Sally in the Woods. I think that was a good investigation.
It was really good.
I don't know. I'd like to do, because I quite like sort of old buildings, sort of historical buildings. So like any sort of like castle or you know, like Buckingham Palace or something like that would be great to do. Like actually get some relevance there. That'd be lovely.
I don't think that would ever happen. But, yeah.
Well, no, we might. Well, unless the Queen invites us around, I don't know.
Yeah, you never know.
I bet you got to go through a lot of hoops to get into that place.
I would imagine so. Yeah, definitely.
So is there like any stories that are associated with Buckingham Palace?
I don't know actually. I would imagine there would be. There would be, because obviously it's a very historic building. I'd have to have a look into it really, to be honest, Cozy.
All right, so now somebody has come to you and they've said, all right, I'm giving you a free ticket to the United States and we're going to put you up wherever you want to go. Where is that one place you want to come to over here?
Well, I'm not so familiar with a lot of places in America, but there's one place I know that a lot of people go to is Gettysburg.
Oh, yes.
That looks really interesting. I've had a look at that recently. That looks really interesting. But I think there's quite a lot of interesting places all over the world. You know, what's your favourite place?
Like over here?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I haven't been there yet, but I do want to go to Gettysburg. That's one of those places I have to go because I hear so many great stories. There's also Waverly Hills.
Oh yeah, Waverly Hills. Yeah.
I would love to go there. Just at least say that I've been there. You know, even if nothing was to happen, at least say I've been there. But
you got better cemeteries than what we've got.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, you got a lot more history there than we have.
Yeah, true.
Because I see quite a few ghost hunts where they go to like the cemeteries and they're like massive and they're completely different from ours. Completely different.
Well, I think ours look quite spooky because obviously ours are sort of
overgrown.
Yeah, overgrown. All the tombstones are falling down. And,
not cared for.
Well, I think that adds to the sort of the feel of it, really.
But I must admit that I do like graveyards.
Tracy likes graveyards.
And woods.
Yeah.
That's my go-to.
Yeah.
He's more abandoned building, bring a ladder.
Well, that's because we just, the weather over here, it rains most of the time. When we get the good weather, we can do outside stuff.
So, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Cemeteries are not like the best place for me, and it's my own opinion. I'm not saying this is the way it is, but I just feel like, why would you want to hang around where your dead body's at? Why not someplace significant like where you grew up or where you lived, or it's just some place that meant something to you. That's just my opinion. That's my opinion.
But I must admit, they do say a majority of them aren't actually haunted.
Yeah, it's creepy when you go in there because let's face it, it's dark. You're in a cemetery and your mind's going all over the place, but what's there really to be scared of in a cemetery?
Well, I don't know.
That's my opinion.
I don't know. I don't know what my fascination is with them.
I will say we went to in Bristol probably about a month ago.
Yeah.
We went to it's a church that's being converted into like houses.
Oh, that was horrible.
But we went there, but afterwards we walked to another church in a like cemetery graveyard, and we could hear something in the undergrowth. But then what scared us the most was this bloke.
It was me that scared him.
Well, I was focused with the camera, looking down at like thinking, where is this thing I could hear? I can't see it.
I should have known you were going to bring this up.
This guy came round the corner on a bike with a torch on the front of his bike, and she jumped and made me jump as well.
I think I made all the viewers jump as well because I like freaked out.
That was probably the scariest moment we had.
Me again.
Scariest and most comical moment. Yeah.
I got to tell you a story real quick. We went to Yorktown Hospital, which is here in Texas. It's been on television, that kind of thing, Ghost Adventures. And, you know, you're already kind of tripping out because it's late at night. You're in this place. There's nobody else but your group, you know. And, you know, we're really looking. And I really wasn't scared per se. But there's like one little spot where somebody had set up a mannequin, and I knew it was there. But every time I walked by it, it made me jump.
Yeah, I think that was. I think it's one of those things that sort of freaks you out. I watched. I can't remember who it was, but on a live, these people had in the hallway. You had to go like it was in a corner, and you had to walk round. But in that corner, they had like a mannequin. And they went down, and your eyes are focused on it from the other room down that hallway and that way. And why would you put that there? Because they were like saying, "Oh look, it's following us around." And I'm thinking, why would you put it there if it's going to follow you?
Right.
Yeah.
I just think it's funny, you know, because people say, "Oh, you're a ghost hunter. You're not supposed to be scared." Well, you know, when you're not expecting anything, something start. I mean, it could be just something getting knocked over and makes a loud bang. You're gonna get scared.
Yeah.
I think I'm more freaked out about people than I am spirit.
Yeah.
Thank you.
People.
Yeah, I worry like hell about people.
But you never know how people are going to react. Some people might just sort of look and not worry, but you get idiots that, you know, especially when you're on you're trying to do a live investigation. You get idiots.
When we went to Greyfields, I said, "Come on, let's go." There was those kids, weren't there?
I can't remember that one.
When we were with Chloe and that lot.
That was me, was it?
Yeah, you were there.
Oh, I can't remember that one.
I
can't remember.
Hey, people just can't seem to just let you have your fun. They got to ruin it one way or another, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's
we're.
Like
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, like last night when me and Drew were out, it was pitch black, and we had a torch and we were walking along, and there was a young girl and boy coming the other way in complete darkness. And you're just thinking, what they were obviously okay. They just walked past us. We said, "Well, sorry for flashing the torch in your face." They just seemed a bit weird while they were out, just walking in the darkness. Really.
Were they alive?
They were.
Mm.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They weren't floating or anything. They were definitely walking on their feet. Yeah.
I hear you. All right. Well, we've come to the end of the show. And before we leave, how can people find you on social media?
Well, it's 4S Paranormal. We're mainly on just Facebook. We have got little following on Twitter, but we don't really use that much. So it's predominantly on Facebook, really.
Okay. Do y'all have a website, or you just mainly do everything on Facebook?
Yeah, it's just all on Facebook. Yeah.
All right. 4S Paranormal, everyone. Go look them up and follow them.
Yeah, thank you.
When you're going to do your next live?
I don't know. We need to get together and sort of just plan what we're going to do. We won't sort of start to plan. We're getting lots of locations up together. Obviously, we've got the dolls here. If we're not out doing an investigation, we've got the dolls here to do a live. So yeah,
to swear at everyone.
Yeah, saying bad words. So yeah,
they seem to sort of kick off when I go out in the room as well.
Really?
Yeah, and I go downstairs and read the comments, and I see people saying they're plotting something, and I think, oh God, shall I go back up or what?
Whispering between themselves.
Yeah.
Well, let us know the next time you go live, and I will share that on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I know it's really late there, and y'all were so nice and kind to be on our show this late at night for y'all.
Yeah,
And
no problem.
Thank you for having us.
You're more than welcome anytime, and stay in touch.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no problem.
And I want to thank everybody that's joined us this evening on Paranormal Warehouse. And please stay tuned for another episode next week. I'll have a surprise guest, and we might have an extra surprise in mind for everyone. So y'all take care and have a great evening.
Paw boy.
TKO would like to thank you for your support of this show and the network. Tune in next week for another informative episode.